Welcome back for another book talk video. Happy Fiction Friday to you. Hope you've had an awesome week. Today I want to talk about a book called A Thousand Splendid Sons by Khaled Hosseini. He is the author of The Kite Runner, which I felt like was the best novel that I read in 2020, though it came out long before that. A Thousand Splendid Sons came out in 2007. It is again looking at issues. My goodness, it's a sad story. There's so much that I can say about this book, but I'll start with a personal story. Even though the pandemic's been going on here in Texas, we've been in school. And students had the option. They could do virtual learning and stay at home, or they could come in person and wear their mask and deal with all the safety measures that have been put in place. And really, they're still doing online work. They just get to come in person and have a teacher motivate them in person and that sort of thing. We teachers, even if we teach virtual classes, have still been coming to work at the building, and thus I have had hall duty, where in the mornings before school, there's a hall that I hang out in the corner like I'm supposed to for about 20-25 minutes each morning before school starts. And I bring my book with me because, it can be boring hanging out there in the corner with nothing happening. And while I was reading this book doing my hall duty, another teacher came by and said, "Oh yeah, I've been wanting to read that book. How is A Thousand Splendid Sons?" And I said, "Oh, it's such a sad book. It's like it started out sad, and then it was still sad. And then when things started to pick up, it turned out, yeah, sad again." So I'm going to give that warning for this book, as I told my colleague and friend. It's a sad story. And honestly, there are parts where you're like, oh, thank goodness, this poor character who's been through so much is finally having a happier moment. And then something sad happens again. So that is my real disclaimer for recommending this book. It's amazing literature. It is a story that is worth knowing. It is about the idea that there are still places in the world where a girl can grow up with very little power. Such a sexist society that we live in so many ways and so many different cultures, but be forced to get married at a young age that's really underage to make those kind of decisions. By the way, the main character, her name is Miriam. It's really unfortunate. She is an illegitimate child, so she's disrespected from the beginning. When her life gets worse, with really no opportunity for money or power or status in really any sense, she is given this option, and I'm putting air quotes around the word option, to marry a man that she's never met before who is from another region. Because basically, being an illegitimate child and being kind of put onto this family that doesn't want her, they would prefer that she just move away and that she be gone so they don't ever have to see her or deal with her anymore. Again, it's a sad story. With it really being her only option, that is what she's forced into. And believe me, she tries to make the best of the situation. She tries to be a good wife, to take care of the home, to cook, to make her husband happy, to provide children for him and that sort of thing. But it just feels like disaster after disaster after disaster. I highly recommend the story. It's a great novel. I give it 4 out of 5 stars for its great writing and the way that it tackles important issues that are still going on in the world. Just got to be ready. Maybe have a box of tissues on standby, as you're going to see this character who deals with so much time and time again. That's it for my book talk today. Hope you have a great weekend. Every day is a good day for a book talk. Peace.